What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to run aftermarket water lines for your turbo. This is on a BA Falcon, but it should apply to almost any vehicle that uses rubber heater core lines. So these are the things you'll need. Make sure that your hose is like for coolant, and the fitting is M14 for the turbo. Now first you'll want to jack your car up and drop your coolant. When you drop your coolant, you'll want to make sure that you spill it everywhere, like so. Good man. Yep, good work, bro. You'll then want to make sure that you splash some on your phone camera as well while you're mucking around waiting for it to empty, but at least my kitten's curious enough to come say hello. Now you'll see I've got the fittings already hooked in, but you'll see I've got a 45 degree on the manifold side, and you'll actually want to change that to a 90 later, just because the angle goes all funky and it's just not quite right. But you can put those fittings on with the turbo still in there. It's just a bit hard, it takes a while. But yeah, so now we'll just run all the lines. I've got my T fittings hooked into the heater core. So a bit of spray lube always helps to seat it properly so it doesn't quite like pinch the hose. It kind of slides around it a little bit better. Also makes it easier to tighten up. And then once it's dried out a little bit, you give it another torque later on anyway. I'm wearing that sweet glove because of all the heat wrap fiberglass. I got so much in my hands over doing this, like all up my arms and everything. So if you have heat wrap, just be aware that it is fiberglass and it is not good for your skin and it is uncomfortable. But yeah, you'll see I run this hose quite long and wonky, and this isn't necessarily what you want to do. I end up changing it once I get that 90 degree fitting, but yeah, that's why a 45 just isn't really the go here. Same with V-bands. If you put a bit of spray on it, bit of spray lube, it just makes everything go on a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, so you don't end up gouging any of the steel or anything like that. And we got ourselves a new coolant reservoir since the old one was poo-poo yellow. Finally get a clean one. The whole coolant system is so full of rust. It's pretty bad. I want to change the heater core lines in the future and the radiator. But for now I just gonna run some coolant flush and give it a hella flush and a clean out. So I finally managed to get the turbo out. It took me quite a while, but it was actually quite good to get out because there was quite a lot of gritty shit in there, so I'll give it a good clean up and stuff. But pretty much the main reason why I took it out in the first place was just to fit a 90, because it wouldn't fit up against the turbo flange while it was in there, but if I threw it on beforehand, put it back in, it fits. Another thing is that the bottom gasket, oil gaskets, drain, is rubbish, so I'll be replacing that. And I also did thread tape these fittings. They didn't leak, but they probably will in the future, so it gives me a good chance to rethread those, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, probably just get into it. So yeah, I ended up I couldn't fit that 90 degree thing in there with the angle it was on, and yeah, so I decided to take it out off camera. It was pretty difficult, but just because I'm guessing it's been on there for, you know, 20 years. But yeah, bit of persuasion went into it. Now with that 90, you can see it's more of a straight angle, and I can eventually get it a bit more direct without all that weird long hoseness. And another side note, when you put your turbine back in there, you want to keep it as straight as possible, because you can actually damage the blades if you don't have it straight. So every now and then I just test that it still spins and that I've got it all straight and stuff. Just like that. I used red Loctite. You probably just use blue Loctite, but yeah, the turbo needs a rebuild soon anyway, so I'll probably make a video in the future of me rebuilding it. So we'll get those T's back in there, all angled up nicely. There is a in and out direction for the water, and I've actually got it backwards. I don't think it matters, to be honest, but I guess I'll find out down the line. But this one that I'm working on there, the forward facing one, is the in direction, and that should actually go to the fender side of the turbo, but I put it on the manifold side. I think it's fine. At the end of the day, it's a T fitting. It's not got the most amazing I guess directional pressure. Doesn't flow as well, I guess, but you know, it's fine. So I'll cut up some more of my hose, making lots of little pieces. And then I'll do the other one. Now that side I left the hose really long as well, because I'm just not happy with how it is, I guess. Down the line I think I'll do a bit more rerouting of these hoses, but the principle remains the same. You connect up T-fittings to the heater core, use your AN fittings, NPT to AN, and then AN from there. Hose clamps, barbs. I put heat wrap on this one because it's right in between the wastegate and manifold, and it just looked in need of some extra protection. So that's just like fiberglass internal with some like tinfoil looking stuff on the outside. It looks a little bit spaceshipy and funky, but I think it's worth having. But yeah, so this one's left pretty long, but it's still fine, and it's still you know, quite low, so it's not having, it shouldn't hold any air bubbles or anything like that. It should, when I bleed the system, it should bleed out just fine, and whatever, as long as it's under pressure, it's fine. And so hopefully final assembly, hook everything back up. I decided to route the oil feed line around the power steering pump because it was resting on the manifold, and I just figure that's probably not really the go. So it's got a weird air spend in it, but that's fine. At least it's shouldn't get extra heat from the manifold. Oh yeah, I had enough extra flash hose to run this extra line. Not quite enough to do both of them, but that's okay. I got one flash one and one hoary one. Now, unfortunately, the hose clamps I used budget and they leak coolant, so a bit of advice is buy proper hose clamps and not ones from AliExpress. As much as it's good to save $1, having 6,000 coolant leaks isn't really the go. So yeah, thanks for watching. If I missed out anything that you need to know, leave a comment and I'll answer it for you. I ended up getting better hose clamps and fixing it, and the car still drives very nicely. Again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.